Hi guys, welcome to this video on a strong golf grip.
In this video, we're going to discuss what a strong grip looks like, the cause of a strong grip, and the pros and cons of having a strong grip.
And make sure you wait to the end of this video where we'll teach you how to adjust the strength of your grip. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about what a strong grip looks like. Liam, do you want to take your setup there, take your strong grip? Should feel pretty normal for you.
Yeah, I tend to have quite a strong grip at the best of times. So I'm going to try and go really excessively strong here. And there's kind of two ways we can see that this is excessively strong. So you guys at home, you can check this out. With my lead hand, my left hand as a right-hander, I can see all 4 knuckles on my lead hand. So that's kind of telling me that this grip's pretty strong. The second thing I can see is there's 2 arrows or V's, and they are both, on both hands, they are pointing way outside the right shoulder, which again is a good indication that this grip is pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. And if you had more of a neutral grip, how would that look?
Well, what I'd do is, if I was going to try and go a little bit more to kind of where I want it to, there, now I can see 2 knuckles on my lead hand, and you can see the arrows, the V's, are probably pointing slightly close to my sternum.
So now we know what a strong grip looks like. What are some of the main effects of having a strong grip on where the ball goes?
Well, there's one main one, isn't there? That's a closed club face. A lot of the guys and girls that will be quite familiar with that at home, that a strong grip would equate to hooks or pulls. So yeah, I'd say a closed club face is probably the main one. It does affect other things, but a closed club face is probably the main one.
Okay, well look, we're lucky enough to have Trackman here. So Liam, why don't you hit a strong shot with that strong grip, and we'll see how that affects the numbers and ultimately where the ball goes.
Cool, excellent. So I'm going to go excessively strong here. All 4 knuckles on left hand, both arrows pointing way right of my sternum. That didn't feel good.
Oh, that is quite familiar. I've seen that a few times on the golf course.
Through the bunker though.
So the main thing we can see there straight away is the club face was exceptionally closed there at impact, with 9 degrees closed at impact. Now, I said we're lucky enough to have Trackman here, but most of you guys at home and girls won't have a Trackman. So apart from that setup, Liam, what other points can they look at in their swing to see whether the club face is closed as a result of that strong grip?
Yeah, I mean, you can reference this. Even if you're not hitting golf balls, you can see whether your club face is closed, and it's a lot to do with the relationship between the club face and the left wrist.
Yeah, one of the key places you can really see it is at the top of the backswing. So let's have a little look at the top of the backswing with a strong and a weak grip and see some reference points that you should be looking at to determine whether you need to change your grip or not. Right, Liam, so what I want you to do then is take a neutral grip and go to the top of your backswing.
So I'm going neutral, yeah?
Neutral grip,
Perfect.
up to the top.
So a bit more like...
Great. So when you're looking at a neutral grip and the effect that it has on the club face, what I want you to notice here is the angle of Liam's club face relative to the back of the left wrist is going to be in the region of about 20 degrees. This is very standard and is very indicative of a nice neutral grip. So now, Liam, back in setup, I want you to go with a really strong grip this time.
Yeah.
And I want you to go up to the top of your swing.
Feels horrendous.
So now when we get to the top, what we'll notice is instead of that nice neutral 20 degrees, we've got a club face relative to the back of the left wrist angle of something much closer to about 40, 45 degrees. This is very, very strong. You will see golfers with strong grips, maybe not quite as much as this, players like Dustin Johnson, but this is a really great way of looking at the strength of your grip during your swing as opposed to just at setup.
Yep, absolutely. So there's a direct correlation. The greater that angle is, the stronger the grip is going to be.
Absolutely. Shall we now talk about the pros and cons of a strong grip over a neutral grip?
So there's both pros and cons. If you're a slicer of the golf ball, you want to strengthen your grip quite a lot. As I mentioned before, the stronger the grip, the more closed the club face is going to be. So if you're slicing it, strengthen your grip. If you hook it, you really don't want to be strengthening your grip at all, do you?
Yeah,
making it a bit more neutral. Also, with a closed club face, it's going to tend to lessen the dynamic loft on the golf club. So if you're hitting it a bit too high, you might want to strengthen your grip as well. If you're hitting it too low, then probably don't strengthen it or go a bit more neutral.
For what about those golfers who maybe come too much from out to in with their club path?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but if you strengthen the grip, like the lead hand and the rear and the trail hand, the stronger the grip, generally the club path will tend to move more out to the right. So if you're an over-the-top swinger, generally strengthening that grip will tend to, due to the anatomy of the wrists, will allow the club to move more into out club path.
Absolutely. So now we know some of the pros and cons of strengthening the grip, and as a result, you know when you might want to. Let's talk about how to do it with some really simple drills that you can use at home to action this straight away.
Okay, so how to both assess and strengthen your grip. We need to make sure that the fingers are perpendicular to the underside of your grip. Once we've done that, we put your heel pad, that's mentioned in previous videos, over the top, and that would be a nice grip here. If I was to get on the underside of the grip much more towards the tips of my fingers and do the same thing, all of a sudden that becomes a much stronger grip. I'll be able to see more knuckles and my V's will be pointing more to the right. So where a lot of people go wrong with this is they try and approach the lead hand on the side of the grip. And as you can see, this puts the fingers at a diagonal angle to the underside of the grip. It also causes you to grip too much in the palm of your hand and not the fingers, which is going to cause big issues in strike, distance, and generally poor golf shots.